Oh, this segue is pretty perfect.
Oh,
So, I love you too! This next song, I've never rewritten a song more, and I probably never will.
In a recent interview, Kelly Clarkson opened up about the early days of her career and the challenges she faced after winning the first season of American Idol in 2002, although her victory launched her into instant fame. The journey toward becoming a respected songwriter and artist was far from easy. Speaking on SiriusXM Hits, one alongside fellow The Voice coach John Legend, Clarkson revealed that many music executives initially doubted her abilities because she came from a televised talent competition. Industry insiders assumed she was only a performer, not a songwriter or creative force behind her own music. Clarkson explained that her record label resisted acknowledging her as a writer. Since she had emerged from a reality show, executives struggled to see her as a serious artist. During the early 2000s, contestants from reality programs often had difficulty earning credibility in the music industry. While shows like American Idol created stars, winners were frequently pressured to fit into commercial molds instead of exploring their authentic artistic identities. One of the clearest examples of this struggle involved her deeply personal song, Because of You. Clarkson had co-written the emotional ballad as a teenager, and it carried painful memories from her childhood and family life. When she tried to include it on her debut album, Thankful, executives rejected it harshly, claiming it didn't rhyme and calling it a bad song. For Clarkson, the rejection wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. The song meant everything to her, but label executives focused only on technical and commercial factors. She wasn't even trying to make it a chart-topping single. She simply wanted it included because of its emotional importance. Eventually, Clarkson refused to give up. By the time she released her second album, Breakaway, in 2004, she had gained more influence in the industry. She successfully included Because of You on the album. The song became one of her biggest global hits, topping charts worldwide and proving her instincts were right. Clarkson reflected that the song's success taught her an important lesson. Even when it feels like the industry machine is working against you, fans can make all the difference. Their support validated her as a songwriter and artist. She also discussed how unstable the music industry was during that time. She experienced multiple leadership changes at her record label in just a few years. This constant turnover made her realize that executives who rejected her ideas might not even stay in their positions long-term. That realization strengthened her belief in staying true to herself rather than relying on industry approval over the years. Clarkson has become a Grammy-winning superstar, selling millions of records and expanding into television as a coach, on The Voice and host of her own talk show. Looking back, she sees those early struggles not as setbacks, but as valuable lessons that shaped her dedication to authenticity. Her story also reflects how perceptions of reality TV artists have evolved. Today, many contestants from shows like American Idol and The Voice are recognized as genuine artists and songwriters. However, Clarkson's experience highlights the ongoing tension between creativity and commercial pressures in the music industry. Throughout her career, fan support has remained central to her success. Ultimately, it was her audience, not executives, who proved the value of Because of You. Their loyalty gave her both emotional strength and professional leverage, allowing her to gain more creative control over her music. In 2002, the world watched as a young woman from Texas stepped onto a stage and changed her life forever. Kelly Clarkson had just won the very first season of American Idol. Overnight, she became a household name. Millions celebrated her victory. It seemed like the ultimate dream come true. But what many people didn't see was what happened after the confetti fell. Winning a reality show gave her fame, but it did not automatically earn her respect. In a recent interview, Clarkson reflected, honestly, on those early years, she described the path from reality TV winner to respected. Grammy-winning artist as far more complicated than fans might imagine. While the public embraced her voice, the music industry itself was far more skeptical. When Clarkson entered the industry, reality television was still new. Talent competitions were often viewed as entertainment, not as legitimate platforms for discovering serious artists. Many executives believed that contestants were simply performers molded for television ratings. They weren't seen as musicians with depth, creativity, or songwriting ability. And that label followed her. Despite her powerful voice and undeniable stage presence, executives questioned whether she could truly be considered an artist. Could someone who rose to fame through a televised competition really have something meaningful to say? Clarkson revealed that her record label was hesitant to acknowledge her as a songwriter. She wasn't just a singer interpreting other people's lyrics, she was writing from her own experiences. But convincing executives of that was an uphill battle at the time. The early 2000s music industry operated with a strict formula. Pop. Stars were carefully packaged. Songs were selected based on market trends. Commercial performance often mattered more than authenticity. For a young woman fresh off a reality show, pushing for creative control seemed almost impossible. Clarkson explained that she could feel the resistance immediately. Executives didn't understand that she had been writing music long before American Idol. They saw the TV winner, but not the artist behind the spotlight, and then came the moment that would define her struggle. As she prepared her debut album, Thankful, Clarkson desperately wanted to include a song she had co-written as a teenager. The song was called Because of You. Unlike polished radio singles crafted by professional songwriting teams, this song was raw, emotional, painfully honest. It told the story of her childhood, the trauma she experienced, and the emotional scars she carried into adulthood. For Clarkson, this wasn't just another track. It was her truth. But when she presented it to the label, the response shocked her. Executives criticized the song harshly. Some claimed it didn't rhyme properly. Others dismissed it as weak. They judged it from a commercial and technical standpoint, not from an emotional one. To them, it wasn't a guaranteed hit. To her, it was everything. The rejection hurt deeply. It wasn't just professional criticism, it felt personal. The song carried her vulnerability, her memories, her healing. Hearing it dismissed so casually revealed something troubling about the industry. She had just entered. She began to realize that for many decision-makers, art was secondary. Profit came first. Clarkson has since shared that she wasn't even asking for the song to be the lead single. She wasn't chasing chart dominance. She simply wanted it included on the album because it represented who she was. But the industry machine had other priorities. For many artists emerging from reality shows, at that time, this was common. They were expected to follow instructions, record assigned songs, and stick to a predefined image. Individual expression often came second to marketability. Clarkson faced a choice: conform or fight. And even though she was new, young, and surrounded by powerful executives, she quietly chose to fight. While Because of You was removed from her debut album, she refused to let it disappear. Behind the scenes, she held on to it. She believed in it. She trusted her instincts even when others didn't. At the same time, the music industry itself was going through dramatic changes. Digital downloads were emerging. Pop culture trends were shifting. Record labels were unstable, with frequent leadership changes. Clarkson later revealed that she worked under multiple label heads within just a few years. Imagine pitching your vision to one executive only to see them replaced months later. Every leadership change meant new opinions, new strategies, new obstacles. This instability taught her a powerful lesson early in her career. Executives come and go. Your voice stays with you. She realized that chasing approval from people who might not even remain in their positions was pointless. The only constant she had was her love for music and her connection to her audience, and that understanding would change everything. But the real turning point was still ahead. By 2004, Kelly Clarkson was no longer just the girl who won American Idol. She had gained experience, recognition, and most importantly, confidence. When she began working on her second album, Breakaway, she saw an opportunity. This time, she had more leverage, more influence, more courage, and she brought Because of You back to the table, unlike before. She insisted this wasn't just about including a song, it was about claiming her identity as a songwriter. It was about proving that her creativity mattered. Eventually, the song made it onto Breakaway. What happened next changed everything. Because of You resonated with listeners in a way few could have predicted. Its honesty struck a universal chord. People across the world connected to its vulnerability, its pain, its message of survival. It climbed charts globally. It became one of her biggest hits, solidified her not only as a powerhouse vocalist, but as a songwriter with depth. The same industry figures who once dismissed it watched as fans embraced it wholeheartedly. For Clarkson, this success was more than validation. It was proof that authenticity wins. She later reflected that the experience taught her something unforgettable. Even when the industry feels like it's working against you, your fans can carry you forward. The audience heard what executives didn't.